is now in session 4. How do I say that?
Machitoba, Your Honor. The Pixie of the Archipelago.
Right. His trial. Court is in session.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is A-OK, Herr Judge.
Very well. Prosecutor Gavin.
My opening statement, yeah?
No, actually, there's something else I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah?
You say you're going to visit someone in hospital with an incurable disease. What would you say to them?
Huh?
I mean, you wouldn't say get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to visit someone who's terminally ill. Right after this trial. The Chief Justice's son.
The Chief Justice?
His son's afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be the order of the day.
Well, perhaps I would just say what's on their mind instead of what's pretending. He's looking at me with something like disgust. What are you looking at me like that for?
In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement, briefly.
You're in luck, Herr Judge. I believe you'll be going to the hospital sooner than you think. First, to review the victim's case. Romain Matos, age 35. The global manager for Diva Songstress La Memoire. Cause of death, blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. That's fucking French again. The supporters also details.
The court accepts this into evidence. .45 caliber. That's quite large, isn't it?
There are 3 keys on the heart-shaped key ring, and this guitar-shaped key is the key to the guitar case. Was he saying you had to break the case because you couldn't get it unlocked? I can open a lock like that in 10 seconds easy. You should have given me a call. So you could snap handcuffs on you after you opened it? Handcuffs? 20 seconds tops. Oh, glad she's on my side. Sort of pin fastener for attaching things to clothes, not the safety pin type though. So if it's not a safety pin, is it a danger pin? I suppose if you stuck it in your eye, then yeah, sure. But you can do that with a safety pin too, for that matter. Thanks for taking the fun out of my danger pin. Oh, you're driving a danger pin through my heart here. The middle of the weapon's a revolving chamber, where you load the bullets. A revolver, see? Revolver. Sounds a bit like Wunderbar. Especially if you say it really fast. I guess. You know what I always used to think? I used to think the closest found to Wunderbar was one liver. There's just so many words in the world, Apollo. Isn't it amazing? So many different words, so many different people. People like Trucy. Don't point that thing at me. Don't worry, I'm an old hand with firearms. I have one that shoots bullets. I don't want it shooting any bullets, thank you. Not those bullets, silly. My gun shoots bullets, the magic cat. Oh. A cat comes out a gun? I can tell by your expression you've never heard that trick. It's a great one. Honestly, that one sounds halfway interesting.
A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet.
However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved.
I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse considering.
Two shots were fired. One shot missed. The other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall of the scene. Observe the diagram. This is where the bullet hit.
I see. The court accepted into evidence. If we're talking about a 45 cal revolver, we must assume the killer was adept at the weapon's use.
Really? Yeah, apparently weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body.
The defense will take more care in choosing examples.
As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. The dressing room has only one entrance, the door.
That does seem to be the case, yes.
However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course.
But that's impossible.
Exactly. The murder was impossible. For all but one person.
One person?
That is, of course, the defendant, Machi Tobai.
Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how?
It's quite simple. Circumstances of the crime scene make it clear.
Very well. I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Please show the witness to the stand.
Her name and profession, please. Emma Scully. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow.
Security at the concert, you say?
Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder.
Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know.
I'm sure that makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you're on security details, the crime was quickly discovered. And we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony if you vote. Describe the circumstances that day until discovery of the crime, please. All right. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved in the concert were in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and discovered that only the defendant could have done it.
It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene.
But that Door was the only way out of the room, right? Yeah, pretty much. Then I don't get it. How could they say that Matchy did it? Looks like we need a bit more information.
Very well, the defence may begin cross-examination.
The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? Apollo, you were there, for fuck's sake. That's right. What was a detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin. Yeah, allow me to explain. I smelled something today, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day is a concert hall. Conspiracy? But isn't it obvious? My keys. The whole morning. No, the whole day was ruined. And it's all because someone stole my keys. I couldn't drive my home to the show. I couldn't open my guitar case. Excuse me. Oh. There he goes again. Isn't it possible someone misplaced them? Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't wander into the murder victim's hand on their own.
What's this? Prosecutor Gavin, if your keys were in the victim's hand, that makes you a prime suspect.
Love, short aching and new. Actor Queen is waiting for you. He's singing something. Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top? The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was like a sailor addicted to a sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen. I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task.
I see. I can accept that.
Well, I can't. What do you mean time in their hands?
Please, the testimony.
We were let in, though. Excuse me. Oh, I don't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. I guess if I had special permission to be there, I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Gee, great. Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. So none of our outsiders were there then. And then... I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos.
Hey, no slacking in court!
And you're sure the shots came from Lamar's room? Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep you quiet. Thanks. So, how about, Emma? We were right there. Hard to be mistaken about that.
Please, either talk or eat, not both at the same time.
Right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened up the dressing room door. Oh, excuse me. Rock? Blaring, yes.
When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days?
That's right, we went to the dressing room. Music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. They piped sounding from the stage, from the backstage through the speakers. That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the governors of your ears. You're failing to your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume. When we walked in the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it very easy to determine the time of the crime.
If you could hear that music playing...
Everyone on stage for the song had an alibi, including myself. Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation.
Hold it!
How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen, we know there was only one exit from the room, the door. The small window only opened a tiny crack, and I was standing in front of that door. So how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility, the air vent.
Ah! But the air vent was too small. Who could possibly...
Exactly. There's certainly no way that you could get through, nor me. The only one who could fit through was a child.
A child?
Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed.
And of all people involved with the concert, only Atlantis wanted not to be considered a child. The defendant? The pricing of the Arpeggio fitted up toward the sky or disappeared from the scene of the crime. But that's just conjecture. Oh, there's no other way out of the room. You were there, you should know that, Thorhead.
And there's another likely piece of evidence.
Evidence what?
Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that had recently been opened.
Wait, what?
And something else was found quite clearly. The defendant matched the boy's fingerprints.
What? Order! 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 The air vent was the only way out the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found in the grill. Well, her Thorheads? What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass those events, the doorway to heaven. And that one is our Pixie.
Why are you looking at me, Apollo? I was out whooping up in the audience.
So this is just decisive evidence. Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. I believe we're enough to determine a verdict, even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit. I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That'll be enough. It can't be over already. Very well, I believe the trial's finished. If the defence has no contradicting evidence. The prosecution's presented our proof clear and simple. If you have contradicting evidence, it better be clear and plain.
Apollo, they've got us on the ropes already. You better come up with something quick.
I know. Think what can get us out of this. I need evidence or a witness that can prove Matchy is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that... Mr. Justice, do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you better tell us about it now. This is it, and so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof. Call a witness. Prosecutor Gavin, you claim there are no witnesses to the crime. Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely. I swear it on my career as a prosecutor. And on my million-hit seller song, At Your Queenie, My Love.
There he goes again. That's too bad, because there was a witness.
Oh, really now? How'd you come to possess knowledge of the prosecution Khalid does not?
Because I'm the only one in the world who knows this.
What? The victim said this before he died?
Perhaps he did, or perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is what her forehead has said. There's no testimony, as much as it comes from the defense attorney himself. But that's the truth, he said it. I even told you about it. But apparently you ignore me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Crazy lucky lawyer thinks you can tell me how to do my job.
That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours is unknown to the prosecution. I hope you're right. Failure carries stiff penalty.
Perhaps a stiffer penalty than what Teasel is called for. Oh, there's no backing out now.
Let's hear name of your witness, Mr. Justice. Lamira.
Recall Mr. Latouse's last words.
The siren. Oh, he meant siren.
That's right, the siren of the ballad La Mémoire. La Mémoire was only on stage for the second set, and she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness.
I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
My claim still stands. There's no witness to the crime.
Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We'll now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show La Mémoire to the witness stand.
La Mémoire would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag that story out of her no matter how much it was. It is my distinct honour to welcome the sign as a ballad to our courtroom. You are too kind.
You can speak English.
Yes, I can. Though I'm not very good. There's much I do not know.
You speak so well. Have you spent time here before?
I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it.
What does she mean she doesn't know?
I told folk to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. What's that? Lemuel suffers from amnesia.
Amnesia?
Lemuel is not my true name, yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. She's even more mysterious than I thought. As all this singer Lemuel, she lives a good life. There is little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Yet, I do not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress.
I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You never interfere in this court, La Mémoire.
Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I'm being called as a witness. What might I say? No one will tell me anything about what happened. Lemuel, let me be frank. I did not want you to come here to testify. Yet the young gentleman with the white forehead over there was adamant you'll take stand. Oh my! Congratulations, Apollo, you're the bad guy.
Ah. Well, now you're here, please give your testimony. If nothing else, sound your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime.
For what I saw nothing. The night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second act. I was led by police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That is where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details.
I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying.
I hope he wasn't too distracted to hear what she was actually saying. There you have it. She saw nothing the night. Now we can only praise the defense as the sense to admit defeat. And refrain from detaining her here longer than need be. You just got better, Apollo. Way to go. Oh.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet.
Lanoir wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something and I've got to find out what. But you must have seen something. Mr. Latos man named you. Mr. Latos? How can I tell you what I don't know? Lanoir, you said you were a witness to his dying word. You said you were a witness of his dying words. I did not know what he meant to say, but that night... It was a great concert. You heard me sing? Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Of course.
Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. One of my gavel would be nice.
Her judge.
But what's this?
My autograph. Now keeps the trial moving.
What? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy.
Apparently his grandson's a big fan. Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lanoir. Tell us what you did after the stellar performance. You didn't return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? Cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. And what was Matty doing with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he went. So much for an alibi for Matchy. Or with Matchy, correct? How long... How was he then? He seemed like he always does, though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latos' death. Yet, he's not the type to show much emotion. Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence, or those glinting face speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gotten him very far. Well said there, waiting. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, and about Mr. Latos died.
Of course, investigations require some security.
But Mr. Natos was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Matthew and I were beside ourselves with concern.
Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you.
Yes, I understand.
Fee, what doesn't ring true about her testimony?
It's hard to imagine Lorrimore lying.
She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. What would she tell me about the night of the murder? Nothing I can use a bracelet on, so I'm not sure where it's going with this, honestly. Bloody thing. Okay. I'm sorry, Animal, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not? Well, that's Taminar's. She was wearing it for Hassan.
Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin?
What?
This brooch was found after the murder took place, at the very scene of the crime.
What?
No more? How'd your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? As Prosecutor Gavin just told us, you'd been wearing it during your performance that night.
What's the meaning of this? Lammermoor, please explain.
Lammermoor?
She says English is quite difficult.
That trick's not going to work here.
Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer truly. But you have missed one important fact.
What now?
In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage was only for a moment.
What?
Think back to the moment of the crime. You'll know what I speak of.
Is she really saying all that? What's she talking about, Apollo? Right when the incident occurred. Is she talking about that? Yikes, Emma? Who's that? There we go. I just glanced, mind you.
So this is when the bolt dropped? That explains that?
It does. There's no other times I could have dropped it. That's ridiculous. You only looked in for an instant, but you dropped your brooch.
Her forehead. She has raised the possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence.
So she looked in at the crime scene.
Actually, I intend to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. The moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice.
Her forehead shouting, "Who's there?" No doubt. A horrible voice indeed.
I closed the door immediately.
Well, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony.
That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lammermoor, you did look into the room, though, right? Yeah? Testify as to what you saw. Very well. It was only the breaches of gimmicks. With Matchy correct, how was he then? He seemed as he always does, for I believe he was a bit shocked by the Mr. Tower's death. Yet, he's not the type to show much emotion.
He's giving the police no end of headaches. He answers more questions with silence, on those glinting face speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gotten very far.
We sat here waiting.
How's he explained to you?
I was told in detail only Mr. Latos died.
Of course, investigations require some security.
Mr. Latos was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. But imagine I were beside ourselves a concern.
Allow me to apologize, but you must understand. Keeping you in the dark is as painful for me as it was for you.
Didn't I read this already? Think, what doesn't read true about her testimony?
It's hard to imagine anyone lying.
She might not be lying, but she's definitely hiding something. But wouldn't she tell me that night of the murder? Ah, this one has a bracelet on it. Silly me. I'm getting a bit too tired again. Wait, this contradicts the scene, doesn't it?
Objection!
Don't know why I thought to do that. It's fucking telegraphing to me what to do. There's some other moving parts.
Gotcha!
Her lips weren't moving. The late Mr. the Towers body, you say? Yes? You know some more about Mr. the Towers is deaf than what you're saying. Huh? I can see you try not to remember, but the effort you made you swallow. Ah. You can't fool my eyes. It's true that it's so terrible after all. Why Mr. the Toast have to be shot? One moment, Lamar. Yes? What was it that you just said? Why Mr. the Toast have to be shot? Yes? She was hiding something, I knew it. No, right, I'm afraid you haven't realised it, but your words just now contradict your testimony. Huh? How could that be?
Take that!
If I do not misunderstand the meaning of contradiction, it is you who contradict, Mr. Justice. Huh? Your evidence is meaningless. Ah, wrong evidence. Gotta think this over. What'd she say again? Why Mr. the Towers have to be shot? That's right, that totally contradicts her testimony.
Take that! Take that!
Fool.